Now, a common question that I get asked quite a lot is what are the differences between all of the computer mice out on the market? Because if you look on eBay and Amazon and just search up computer mice, you'll see all sorts of different types, shapes, sizes, colours, sensors, switch types, wired and wireless. There's all sorts out on the market, and a question that I get asked quite a lot amongst the mess of the peripheral market is, what makes a good mouse for computer gaming? So today we're going to do a video breaking down what exactly makes a gaming mouse. So let's jump into today's video and discuss gaming mices. What's going on, guys? My name is Matthew from MLC Tech here, and today we're going to be discussing and breaking down what makes a mouse good for gaming. We all know a mouse is the simple peripheral device on your computer system that is essentially a pointer device on how you can interact and select things on your computer, but it's also become a crucial part of the gaming experience on the PC, being the device that's responsible for where you aim your gun or where your character looks and goes, and a crucial component to computer gaming and computer use in general. As I said at the start of the video, there's all sorts of mices out there on the market, so it's good to distinguish and differentiate between the different types of mice out there, because not all mice are made for gaming. For example, let's break down the main difference in my workflow, and that is my Logitech G502 and also my Logitech MX Master. They technically do the same job, but they are very different in shapes and sizes. For example, my Logitech MX Master, that's a brilliant mouse, don't get me wrong, but it's not good for gaming. I use it for productivity and just general comfort and general computer use, but then if I want to play some games, I will hop over to my Logitech G502, because for gaming and the sensor technology behind that for gaming, that's really where you want to be. So let's break down the components and let's get into what makes a good gaming mouse. So the first thing we're going to discuss is sensors. Now, essentially, a sensor is a CMOS sensor that basically records a pattern of either optical light or infrared light, or however, or if you're old-fashioned, you use the traditional trackable, which used to be the common way how mouses would track movement, but not anymore. So what makes a sensor good for gaming? Well, when we talk about gaming sensors and computer sensors in general, the thing that we really want to look at in general for what makes a sensor great for gaming is a sensor that there is no prediction algorithms, no mouse acceleration, no jitter or axis differences, and essentially a sensor that can achieve more or less all of these things makes for a more comfortable and more easier user experience when it comes to operating a computer mice and also when it comes to using it in gaming. Essentially, we don't want a mouse sensor that interferes with all sorts of things, which we will get onto in just a second. If you're looking for a computer mouse, there are all sorts of sensors out there manufacturers use, but let's give you the two best examples there are on the market. The best sensors you can currently get out there are the Pixar PWM3360. Yeah, any high-end gaming mouse uses that sensor, and quite frankly, yeah, it is one of the best sensors you can get at the moment. Other manufacturers might go down another route of the Rgb ADNS3310, which, of course, that's another great sensor, though personally I've always been someone who prefers Pixar sensors and essentially have always used that. So if I had to sum up the video just right now, I would say any mouse with those two sensors, you know, safe and easy bets, though there are many more out there which will be good and reliable for gaming as well. And on the topic of sensors, you will see that there are a lot of gaming mouses out there that use optical, and there are some that even still use laser sensors, such as SteelSeries. They use laser sensors on their mices. But what is the difference between optical and laser sensors? Well, essentially, an optical laser uses an LED light to illuminate the surface that it is on, whereas a laser illuminates an infrared laser. Of course, I'm going to come out and say that optical for gaming in general is what you want to be really looking for gaming, though you do need to make sure that you've got a solid surface and a nice smooth solid surface, such as having a mouse mat in order for the mouse to properly flow and function and track properly with the sensor, whereas laser sensors can be used on many more different types of surfaces. and they can even be used on glass surfaces sometimes, though the sensors have been known to pick up a lot of background and too much information for the sensor to handle, and this can result in the laser becoming inaccurate, which for general use of a computer system you're probably not going to notice too much. But for gaming, especially at high speed gaming such as esports titles such as Counter-Strike, where you're really moving your mouse about, you really want that pinpoint accuracy, and you want a mouse and a sensor that is as accurate as possible, especially in esport titles. And also, what makes a sensor great for gaming is the high polling rates of the computer mouse sensor. Now, essentially, that means how many times that the sensor will update, sort of like a computer monitor, where a computer monitor has 120Hz refresh rate. That's the same with computer mouse sensors. Now, we've seen a major push for high polling rate sensors. For example, Razer and other companies have brought out mouses with 8000Hz polling rate, which is absolutely crazy. Mouse with a higher polling rate means for a much accurate gaming experience. It means that sensor can intake a lot more information and get a much accurate image, which for someone who's doing competitive high-paced gaming, that can be very important, though it remains to be seen whether going crazy numbers such as 8000Hz will make a massive difference, though certainly having a high refresh rate mouse will definitely help you in gaming. So another component of a computer mouse that makes it great for gaming is the switch types on the mice. Now, what is a switch on a mouse? Well, essentially that is the clickers on the mouse. Now, the feeling and clickiness of a computer mouse can be very subjective and down to the user, but in general, you want a mouse switch with a low actuation point, which results in a quick register when you're essentially clicking on it. You don't want there to be a big delay between you pressing the mouse and the mouse actually registering that click. So you want a low actuation point for the switch to register your click, which again for general gaming might not seem all too much, but especially for esports competitive gaming, that latency, that millisecond, could be life or death in your gaming experience. Now, when looking for a computer gaming mouse, it's good to mention that there are all sorts of different sizes, shapes that you can pick up, and this really depends on what sort of person you are and what you feel most comfortable, what your hand size is, are you left or right-handed, and just generally what you feel most comfortable. So you want to look at different types of mices. Ambidextrous is a good easy one to go down. That's essentially where it's symmetrical on both sides, so technically you could use it if you're a left or right-handed user, though personally I would prefer to get a mouse that's tailored for your style. So a right-handed mouse, of course, in my personal opinion, is more comfortable because it can tailor to the fit and ergonomics of your hand. And also, while not as common, you can also get left-handed mouses if you're a left-handed user and prefer more ergonomic support for your left hand. It's the case you just need to get a feel for what works best for you. Different hand sizes can also play a difference in ambidextrous or more ergonomic tailored approach with like a thumb grip or whatnot. There are different shapes to tailor to your play experience, and that can depend on your grip type on the mouse, whether you're someone who uses the claw type grip, or you're someone who palms the mouse, or you're someone like me who has a bit of a hybrid style, so you're a bit of both when it comes to your computer mouse style, which is handy for me because I've not exactly got big hands, so I need a mouse that isn't too big but also quite comfortable and ergonomic for my hands, but of course I can't be doing with a mouse that's very big. So let's talk about the next thing that makes a computer mouse good for gaming, and that is the weight of the mouse, or therefore the lightness of the mouse. Now, this can also vary per user on what you find to be most comfortable, but we have seen recently a major push in the marketing department and also in esports based mices for having the lightest and pushing for shaving down every gram that they possibly can out of a gaming mouse. And this is mainly for more competitive esport based shooters, and essentially what this means for gaming is if the mouse is lighter and easier to pick up, it essentially means it's easier for the user to move around. Don't forget, for the professionals of esport titles such as CSGO, they're moving their hands really quickly. So the lighter the mouse is, the easier it is to get such high and fast movements on the computer mouse. And the benefits of having a lighter computer mouse for this use is that it requires less force in order to move the mouse at such high speeds, and it also means less strain and stress on the gamer's wrist, on the gamer's hand, due to it being lighter. But for more casual gamers, you can play around and get what sort of weight is most comfortable for you. I know a lot of good gaming mouses such as Logitech, you can actually put weights in the mouse if you're someone who prefers a weightier mouse. But in general, for gaming mouses, there's been a big push to get the lightest and mouses with the less grams that they possibly can, though that can also depend on personal preference. But like I said, for more competitive gaming, a lighter mouse in general means for a better gaming experience. General use of my PC and productivity, I prefer a heavier weighted mouse. I just think it's more comfortable to use, so that's why I use my Logitech MX Master for general use on my computer system and also productivity. But when it comes to gaming, I do prefer a lighter mouse, so I will switch over to my Logitech G502 when I want to do some good gaming. Then the next thing that I want to touch on the space of computer mices, and that is wired versus wireless. Now, we've seen a big push recently in wireless technology for mouses from the likes of Razer, Logitech, Corsair. There's been a massive push for mices to be used wirelessly in gaming. And now, many years ago, we would have all looked at wireless gaming mices in disgust due to the high latency. Bluetooth used to have such a high latency, and other wireless methods used to have such a high latency where to the point it was just god awful for gaming. And yeah, I will agree, on my Logitech MX Master, trying to game on that, you're not going to have a good time, that's for sure. But in the most recent years, we've seen wireless technology and Bluetooth come a long way. The latency on high-end gaming mices, such as the Logitech G502 Lightspeed and other mices, where the latency is very, very good. In fact, it's almost identical to a wired connection, though you do pay for that. These mices are not cheap by any stretch of the margin. In fact, there's like a 3 times price markup on a mice with this wireless technology. Just look at the price of a normal Logitech G502 compared to the Lightspeed variant. It's almost 3 times the cost. So there is definitely a heavy price premium. Though it could be argued that the benefits of going down this wireless route is that you don't have to worry about cable snag or a cable weighting you down. Now, I know some cables on computer mices can be awful and snag on your computer mouse, and it's just not good, and all the fraying that occurs, though some cables are quite good as well. Wireless mouses can be heavier as well, due to the fact that they have to have more components built into the mouse, such as a battery and also a wireless controller as well, so that can add a bit more weight if you're someone who wants a good gaming mouse and wants something that's super really light. But the benefits of a wired mouse is that they are a lot cheaper, and you are still getting the same great sense of technology and form factor when it comes to a gaming mice. So that's not going to impact your gaming experience if you go for the cheaper wired variant. And this can be even better for gaming as well, because a wired connection is constant and ensures reliability at all times, and also potentially you're going to make sure that you get the best latency of all times due to that wide connection. So that reliability, especially for long gaming sessions, is very important if you're someone who does competitive gaming and could be in a match for quite some time and you're not able to quit or have a break because you're right in that game and you can't leave due to being right into that competitive spirit. And also, due to that fact as well, you don't need to worry about your mouse running out of battery, needing to recharge your mouse either, which, like I said, for long stretch of gaming periods can really be annoying if your mouse runs out of battery. Though battery technology has come a long way and it's pretty good, but it's just that and one less thing to worry about. And lastly, we're going to touch on the looks of gaming mices. Now, like I said about the different shapes and sizes, you can also get them in different types of colours, material types, and also everyone's favourite, RGB. Though this is mainly cosmetic. Colours, of course, that's down to personal preference, whether you want a white or black mouse, whatever works best for your setup. Material types can be a lot more subjective as well, whether you like something that's more soft to the touch and has a much more grippy texture. It all depends, whether you're someone who likes a nice smooth finish on the mouse or you want something with a bit of grippy texture. We've seen Razer bring out grippy tape to put on computer mices, or whether you're someone who likes a nice soft cool touch mouse. It all depends on your personal preference, and yeah, you just need to go out and find out what works best for you, though it's good to know that there are these differences on texture. And let's touch on RGB mouses. Now, In the space of gaming and computer hardware, you know, everyone's putting RGB on everything. Is it necessary, and does it make your mouse any more gaming? No, and yes, technically you will pay more of a price premium for a mouse with more RGB. Yes, that is a given. And in all honesty, I think RGB on computer mouses is utterly pointless because most of the time my hand's covering the mice, so I don't care for RGB on computer mices as much as I would on monitors, computer hardware, and also keyboards. On gaming mices, it's a bit, it's a gimmick, and yeah, you don't need it. All of these components are what make a computer mouse great. Now, the term gaming itself is more of a marketing term employed, so just because a company's come out and released a cheap mouse and said it's a gaming mouse because it's got fancy lights and colours and it's got an angular, edgy design, it doesn't mean it's good for gaming. It just means it has that look, though the sensor and mouse switch types could be absolute dog trash and you would want to stay away from it. So it's more of gimmicky marketing title, though general rule of thumb for well-known manufacturers such as SteelSeries, Glorious, Corsair, Razer, Logitech, usually they would market it as a gaming mouse, and usually they are true to their marketing. Though it's worth noticing that just because something says it's gaming doesn't mean it's good for gaming. If you're someone who's looking for the best gaming experience, the best mouse possible, it's good to research into the sensor types or the switches that a computer mouse uses, so you can really judge and really get a telling for how well a computer mouse is going to perform. So anyway guys, I hope you found today's video interesting and useful to yourself if you're looking for a new gaming mouse and wasn't quite sure what makes a gaming mouse good for gaming. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope it's helped you potentially help decide on a nice good gaming mouse for your computer system. Anyway guys, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of all the different sensor types and mouse types out there? What are you currently using, or what mouse are you looking to get for your gaming setup? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's have a conversation. If you've got any questions, ping them in the comments down below. I like to have a conversation with my viewers and essentially talk everything in the space of gaming and tech. So definitely let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. Give today's video a like if you enjoyed it. And I've been Matthew from MLC Tech. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode soon. Goodbye.